Greetings, Read My Mind Radio family, and welcome back to the final series of 2021. We call this one Young, Gifted, Black, and Disabled. Shout out to my brother, A.J. Murray, who co-hosted and produced an episode with me last year with that same title. It's the inspiration for this series. Young? Well, that's relative. It's up to each of us to define how we feel. My maturity level has probably never passed 5 years old. I'm extremely silly, y'all. I've been working on the gifted part, since the other areas, they're undeniable. I'd like to share with you today and let you judge my progress. I've been enhancing my own ability to read minds. I know, it makes sense, right? Read my mind? Now, I'll attempt to read yours. But first, I need your full attention. If you're walking on a treadmill, don't stop. I don't want to be your excuse. Just listen carefully and follow along. Choose a number between 1 and 10. Now, multiply that number by 2. Come on, y'all. I shouldn't have to wait this long. Again, choose a number between 1 and 10 and then multiply it by 2. Okay, add 8 to that number. That's right, 8. Now, I need you to divide that number by 2. Are you with me? Subtract your original number from that number. Okay, now Braille users, you should get this part quickly. Take the corresponding letter from the alphabet where A is equal to 1 and B is 2, and so on. Now, think of a country that starts with that letter, okay? Take the next letter in that country and think of an animal that starts with that letter. What color is that animal? Now, I need you to do this. Just say out loud, Read My Mind Radio is my favorite podcast. You're thinking of a gray elephant. If I got it right, well, you need to show a brother some love. Head on over to readmymind.com and hit the link that says survey. It only takes a few minutes. Or hit that link that says shop and get yourself some of our cool Read My Mind Radio inspired merch. Or give us a shout out on social media at TS Read on Twitter. And check us out on our new Instagram, Read My Mind Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Thomas Reed. I'm your host and producer, and I'm really not a magician. But we are about to hit you with some magic. Abracadabra, baby. Read my mind. Read my mind.
Radio. I am Janetta Mary Alice Price, founder and CEO of Blind Girl Magic. I am a chocolate voluptuous sister with a big old curly Shaka Khan looking black wig that really complements my outfit, which is a black dress. And it's a little, but I guess we don't need to know that. It goes about to my knees.
All right. That was a very nice image description there. That Shaka Khan thing. That, that paints an image for somebody who knows what Shaka Khan looked like. Shaka Khan represents a strong, confident, proud black woman. In fact, she says she's every woman, and it's all in her. Confidence, we know, can be tested. Blindness, disability, that's like a graduate level exam.
At the age of 25, I began to lose sight due to aggressive glaucoma and also cornea disease. After the cornea transplant, the glaucoma became uncontrollable. So glaucoma is the primary cause of me losing sight.
The causes of blindness are unique to everyone, but there are some common reactions, like isolation.
When you isolate yourself, then you allow the negative thoughts, a lot of the misconceptions just begin to take over. I lost my fiance, but finding out that losing him was a game because he was not my husband. We was engaged, and this is what I said. I was having eye procedures at back to back, and I was like, oh, I'm not going down no blind woman. Who does that? That's how naive I was about blindness. We brought her home. I kept pushing away back because I was like, no, I can't do this. But it took for me to really walk away from that situation to begin the healing process.
Did you have any sort of experience with blindness and disability?
You never know when you're looking at your destiny. When I was younger, like say junior high school, it was a blind man in my community. I used to see him walking with his white cane. I recall being on the school bus, sometimes just staring at this man in my community. He was independent. But when it came to younger blind women, I'm 25. I felt like I was at the prime of my life. I didn't see that. I'm from a small community, Beaumont, Texas, about an hour and a half away from Houston, Texas.
Of course, blind skills training is crucial. But one of the most important aspects of adjusting to blindness is meeting people like you or those you can relate to who have similar experiences.
One of my professors introduced me to the Federation, and I went out for a scholarship. I did not receive the scholarship, but I did gain a community, and I knew I wasn't alone. So that was the game changer. I was using my resources with Division of Blind Services locally, but to begin to network and build sisterhood with other blind sisters, that was priceless for me. Because I knew if they can do it, then I can do it as well.
How'd you find them, other blind sisters?
I went to my first national convention with the National Federation of the Blind. It was in Texas at the time in 2012. And I'd never seen that many blind people in my life. I don't do dogs. I just never seen blind people, and they move so fast. And they was a little rude too. They would run you over. I tell anybody, it'll make you gain blind skills because you have to protect yourself. I began to just go to the different seminars. They had like a talent show. And I was like, oh, I don't do talent shows. But they asked me to do a poem, and I did. Once I became open, then I began to just meet other blind people. I believe in networking, and the Federation allowed me to meet other blind people my age and people that I could connect with as well. I love networking with my blind brothers and sisters, and I believe it's priceless because if something I don't know, then I can tap into one of my resources and they can definitely help me out.
When we talk about adjusting to blindness and other disabilities, so much of the conversation focuses on learning to accept help. It can take some time to recognize the other side of that coin. That is, you too, as a person with a disability, have a lot to offer others. But after all, it's called an adjustment process because it takes time.
From 25 to 29, I suffered with severe depression. Everything that I associated blindness with, like losing my job, just not able to drive again. So everything was negative. I didn't want anything to do with blindness. Long as you're in denial, your healing cannot start. I'm a writer. I didn't write from 25 to 29. I didn't pick up a pen. I didn't do anything. I was angry. I was bitter. I was non-productive.
That desire to write and create seems to be a part of Janetta's identity.
My 5th grade teacher actually told me I had a gift from God. She placed me in theater arts when I was in 6th grade. Everybody in class, they used to say, she don't read, she read. When it comes to expressing myself, I've always been very vocal, very bold. Not only did my school embrace me, my church, my family, everybody embraced my gift.
An obvious challenge for a writer new to blindness is access.
I use all tools. I'm on my computer. If the spirit hit me and I'm 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm on my phone. I do voice, audio. Sometimes I get up real early in the morning. It's a time where I love to write and I just pull up my laptop. Sometimes my Victor string. It's whatever I have my hands on at that time will serve as my tool of writing. I tell people whatever your style of writing is, just embrace it. Before I became knowledgeable of different tools, I used to just get a Sharpie. But even though I really couldn't see, I was still releasing what I was feeling. That was my way out. As I began to just really grow in my blindness, then here come the poetry where now I can write from a healing place.
Notice how for Janetta, the act of writing soon after blindness wasn't really about editing her own words as much as it was an opportunity to purge some heavy emotions. Her passion for writing was obviously strong enough that she wasn't deterred from finding new ways, proving that it's just never really about the tool.
I've always was a paper queen. I wrote everything. It was definitely hard, but once you accept what you're going through, then you start finding ways. Okay, well, I can't do this, so what can I do? So I started focusing on the I can'ts, and the I can'ts became my best friend. I never forget that same fifth grade teacher, Miss Matarochi was her name. We used to call her Miss Mad when we worked her nerves. She gave us those 10 two-letter words. If it is to be, it is up to me. As I began to lose sight, I thought about my fifth grade teacher so much and how she really changed my life because she guided me in the direction of my purpose.
That ability to accept what you're going through is so important to really understand the challenge. A very common experience is to blame blindness. Therefore, it's natural to reject any association with it.
I don't know if they thought it was a compliment, and maybe they've done this to you before. Are you blind? You don't look blind. Okay, what does blindness look like? So when people would tell me, are you blind? I'm like, no, I'm not blind. But then when I begin to embrace my blindness, I began to just walk in my purpose and my truth. And I knew all the time that blindness is a mindset.
I think it's about that time to hear Janetta express how she feels in her way.
Are you blind? That's the question at hand. Before they even shake my hand, the only thing that they see, assure it's not me. Of course, it's my BLIND. Standing bold and beautiful as I tap across the room, shorelining with a burst of confidence. Excuse me, ma'am. You don't look blind. Well, could you please explain to me how blindness looks? See, blindness is not the presenting problem. The lack of knowledge and misconceptions of blindness serves as society blindfolds. Low expectations create social barriers that prevent us from reaching our goals. Excuse me, ma'am. Why do you walk with that stick? That is the question. Correction. This is not, nor would it ever be a stick. It's my cane. And in the blind community, we name our cane. So please, show some love for my bestie. She never leave my side. And a matter of fact, she's my eyes. I walk with faith into a world of possibilities, believing that I can tap into my vision. Faith detect roadblocks, allowing me to overcome life obstacles, change direction, and discover the impossible. Excuse me, ma'am, are you blind? That is the question at hand. Before they even shake my hand, are you blind? Yes. Once I finally said it with no shame, I took back my name is Janetta Price and I am blind. That's when I realized that the question all this time was not for me, but for you who have sight but no vision. Are you blind?
Hey, did you know? Read My Mind Radio is now on Facebook and Instagram. We're going to do some things on these platforms, so stay tuned. You can find us on each at Read My Mind Radio. Don't forget, you can also ask your smart device to play Read My Mind Radio by T. Reed on your preferred podcast provider. Make sure you say that full statement, including T. Reed. Finally, you know you can find us wherever you get podcasts, so why not just follow or subscribe? That way, you'll never miss an episode. Tell a friend to do the same and let them know we have transcripts and more at readmymind.com. Now, you're already family, so you know. That's all. To the E-I-D.
And that's me in a place to be.
Like my last name. Now, back to the episode. So tell me, what is Blind Girl Magic?
Oh, I thought you never asked.
That right there is a part of Blind Girl Magic. It's subtle, but not really. Like her eye-catching, fashionable T-shirts.
My last shirt was in May, my Mother's Day edition. It said, I got it from my mama. It was a beautiful teal turquoise shirt with a shimmery eye. The M, one of the legs was the white cane. The letters was shimmery and purple, and it was like mama was big. I sold over 200 shirts all over the world. Blind Girl Magic is for everybody. Not only do I rock Blind Girl Magic, my nieces, my co-workers, it's not just a blind thing, it's a movement.
A movement that's about starting conversations.
Many people tell me how when they out and about in the community and they rocking Blind Girl Magic, it's an eye catcher because the shirts are beautiful. We are beautiful. We don't have to force feed people when we want to share about blindness. But if we rocking Blind Girl Magic gear and they looking at, oh, is that a white cane? Yeah, white cane is symbolic for independence and blindness. So we can have those conversations and we don't feel alone. I felt alone in my community.
Starting conversations not only through random encounters, but by partnering with peers and hosting events within our community that embrace and highlight blindness. Like one titled, I Am Black History.
It was a total of 20 blind and sighted individuals which did monologues. Each monologue was like 5 minutes. Each person was able to pick somebody in the past or present in history. At the end of that monologue, they flipped it and they began to say, I am Black history. And they began to share about themselves. We are history makers as well. So many times we don't acknowledge. I know I'm bad at it. People are like, Janetta, I didn't even know you had a master's in counseling, or I didn't know you did, So many times we don't really acknowledge our greatness.
Part of Janetta's greatness is using her talent and experience to help those who, as she mentioned earlier, feel alone as a result of blindness. Blind Girl Magic offers workshops that provide an opportunity to explore the inner emotions through words. It's called The Right to Heal.
That's WRITE. I believe in the power of writing. God poured in me that is healing in your words, not just for you, but for others as well. What we have is a lineup of poets. So I'll have some of my poetic blind sisters with me at this time. We'll perform. We'll share our truth. We want to be vulnerable so people can feel comfortable in sharing their truth. People think, she got that S on her chest. They don't even have a clue of some of the things that I went through. I've been there. And every day is healing for me.
After performances and Q&A, participants are encouraged to take about 30 minutes to write.
Maybe 20 minutes, because I'm going to put a little heat on them. Because I don't want them to think about it. I want them to write about it, right? Because if you have too much time to think, then you might try to change some things and just allow it to flow. Afterwards, if those who participated, they want to recite their spoken word, they can. But sometimes it's personal. I respect that too. We can also encourage them. And then you know that you're not alone.
These workshops aren't just for those experiencing blindness.
I worked as a behavior specialist for like 4 years. My master's is in clinical mental health counseling. Writing was a way that I was able to help my students to express themselves without using profanity and end up being suspended from school. I used to do the Right to Heal seminar. I made them write. They say, Miss Price, we write more in here than we write in English. One of my most recent ones for a school in New Jersey, I did the Right to Heal seminar for the administrators and the teachers. If I have a teacher that's real with me and just sharing, not afraid to be open as well, then they respect that as well. So more of your kids will come and talk to you.
Janetta says students can feel when authority figures are authentic and encourages teachers and staff to recognize that. Getting them to be vulnerable is part of accessing their authentic selves. Janetta was kind enough to share some of that vulnerability with the Read My Mind radio family. She calls this one, My Left Eye.
My left eye left me a long time ago. My left eye is lazy. It drives me crazy, baby. My left eye, always causing problems. Attention seeker. Stop-sighted people in their tracks stare at the glare of my left eye. I wish I was invisible like air. Can you feel me? My left eye just refused to be a right eye. Never following procedure. Fail attempt after fail attempt. See, my left eye is clouded with insecurities. My left eye sings the blues, clueless of the melody, rocking and rolling. My left eye has no rhythm, groove to his own beat. My left eye left me numb to the pain of the spoken words and the curiosity of the unknown. I should have known not to write this poem about my left eye. As I recite, I want to punch the lights out my left eye. See, I'm not mad that you left, but it's how you left. No warning signs or trace of evidence in sight. I swear my left eye left me in the darkest place. Spiritually blinded, my left eye, trust me. I try to resuscitate my left eye. Perform and see people realize that I am hiding behind my designers. Blinded by the bling, my left eye is a shady queen. I'm taking back my crown. My left eye do not define me. I am a queen perfectly designed by the king. See, my left eye is beautifully created. Ocean blue scenery mixed with the clouds of joy. My left eye is my testimony, how I gained vision on my journey of losing sight. See, my left eye is the center of attention. Did I mention? Today, start to take the shades off movement. This is not just about me. Let's take our shades off together on 3. You will no longer have power over me. 2, I am perfectly designed by the king. 1, today I remove the shades of self-hate, doubt, and negative self-talk. Remove it. Generational curses, addiction, physical and mental abuse. Remove it. Dream snatchers, haters, envy, jealousy. Remove it. Remove the mental mask and join the movement by setting yourself free and sharing with the world boldly your beauty. So that's what you'll get in the right to heal.
Wow. Blind Girl Magic is the fashionable gear, the workshops and events, the healing. Ultimately, though, it's about that movement or journey.
At the age of 21, I had a brain aneurysm. I don't know if I shared that with you. They told my mom that I wasn't going to live. If I did, I'll be a vegetable and I wouldn't be able to walk or talk. And I can't stop talking now, right?
So by 25, when the vision loss occurred, Janetta was once again really just finding her stride.
I took it pretty hard. I remember just for days not getting out the bed, not wanting to live. I was too afraid due to my Christian background to take my life. But I would wake up and ask him, why did you still give me life? I used to sleep a lot because I just wanted to just leave this place. I just thank God for not listening to me, right? Because I was blinded by my blindness. I had no clue that I could live my best life out of sight.
We don't often talk about these feelings when it comes to adjusting to disability, here or elsewhere. I'm guilty of wanting to promote positivity and optimism, but I also want to be honest. And these feelings are real. If you find yourself struggling with these thoughts, call this number, 1-800-273-8255. There's no shame. Things get better, and our feelings change. This is Blind Girl Magic.
Blind Girl Magic is the type of magic that struts in the room with her white cane extended. Her hips shift like the motion of the eyes of the sighted. Who would have guessed that this blind girl possessed magic? Abracadabra. Now you convinced that I have some magical superpowers with a supernatural S on my chest. Well, that will be yes for success as I leap over obstacles in life, dodge negativity, slam misconception of society, slap I can't in the face where I did that is a fact that blind girl magic goes back to Helen Keller. Way back to Harriet Tubman. Born into slavery, escaped the freedom, but she did not stop. She went back and back and back to lead others to freedom. Blind Girl Magic is built off the shoulders of phenomenal women. Blind Girl Magic is the independent movement that is leading our blind sisters to freedom of depression, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, anger, bitterness, rejection. Abracadabra, you are set free. Blind Girl Magic lives within me.
Sometimes I think I should stop and give you a bit of audio description of what was taking place during my conversation. We'll call it audio readscription.
Way back to Harriet Tubman. Born into slavery, escaped the freedom, but she did not stop. She went back and back and back to lead others to freedom.
All of a sudden, as if driving with a diamond in the back, sunroof top, Thomas leans back in his chair with a big, toothy grin.
That is leading our blind sisters to freedom of depression, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, anger, bitterness, rejection.
In a comic strip thought bubble hovering over his head, text appears.
Blind Girl Magic lives within me.
Go ahead, sis.
I recall when you couldn't say Janetta and blind in the same breath. Now I have the nerve to own a company, Blind Girl Magic. I took back the power. In my blind journey, I accomplished much more as a blind woman than I ever did as a sighted woman. I went back to school, received my bachelor's, my master's, have my own company. I always tell people it took for me to lose sight to gain vision. And once I gained vision, God allowed me to see better. But then I knew it wasn't just about blindness.
At first, I thought that was poetic, or a metaphorical way of seeing her blindness. For years, Janetta was in and out of surgeries and eye procedures. Her doctor offered different specialized contact lenses. They did nothing to provide more sight. In fact, the left eye only offered a bit of light perception. But the doctor determined there was more available in the right eye. Janetta just didn't want to experience the eye pain.
Doc, I have blind skills. Leave me alone. But my doctor know I'm a little feisty or whatever. But he know that I trust him and I follow his lead.
The doctor wanted to try a new contact lens.
They say the older you get and people of color, our glaucoma begin to simmer down. My doctor, he was just like, you still have something there and your glaucoma is stable at this time. So he was super excited about it. It was a challenge getting the contact in because my eyes real pointy. It was just a struggle and I was crying. And so my doctor said, now look at your face. I haven't seen my face over 15 years. The doctors expected me to see better, but they did not expect me to see 20/40. I receive a special contact called a square lens that I insert every day and take out every night. But sometimes I don't use my contact lens because what I don't ever want to lose is my blind skills.
I'm sure there were all sorts of thoughts and feelings taking place. Plus, Janetta had to learn how to use vision once again.
I had to retrain myself to trust my eyes because I had to train myself not to trust my eyes because I always had enough sight to get me in trouble. That's how I ended up falling off the curb, stuff like that.
That's a real interesting sort of twist. I think that says a lot because you could have bounced. You could bounce. You could be like, I'm out of here. Like, later, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to be honest with you. I know a young lady. We had the exact same eye condition. She received that contact and we have not heard from her in the blind community at all. Everybody wasn't happy for me, sighted or blind. Now it's like, oh, you're not blind enough to be a part anymore. It was bittersweet. God had to remind me like who I am and I have to walk in my purpose. I'm going to continue on my journey of where he want me to be. And yeah, I could have bounced, but I'll never, this is who I am. And just like he gave it to me, he could take it away. And if he take it away today or tomorrow, I know I'm okay. My thing is this, I know that I can do it without sight because that's what I did for years.
I believe you. And you repping that blind girl magic on you. You rocking that. You can't get away from it. You don't want to get away from it. I'm really not sure how one could just give up what has become a strong part of their identity, especially when you can see the impact it has on those you care about. For Janetta, working as a school behavioral specialist, those were her students.
Our kids, victims of the environment, a lot of violence, crime, everything. However, for my kids to see me tap into that school as a blind woman and then to see me to be able to drive to school as a blind woman that's been gifted an opportunity to see better again, that gave them hope that it's not over. As the behavior specialist at the school, I work with all the kids at risk. I really was having a hard time because I see the greatness upon my kids and I see some of my kids drop out and just give up. But my story, my testimony, it gave them hope. For them to witness that was priceless.
Janetta's whole story is poetic, meaning it's a chance for all of us to interpret for ourselves. This news was sort of a challenge for me, not on a personal level, but rather as someone who's thinking of the listener, who's possibly in the early phase of their adjustment. I hope you didn't in any way check out. I need you to know that I know hearing this can spark all sorts of feelings that don't necessarily equate to jealousy of another person, but maybe questioning your own worth or value. For me, the hope in Janetta's story isn't really about her getting access to some vision. That's another tool. Similar to the way I wouldn't be jealous of someone who has a fancy, powerful computer or a nicer car, because what it really comes down to is, what you gonna do with it? Janetta's continuing to find ways of spreading her magic to help heal. She was a finalist in the 2021 Holman Prize Contest. This conversation was recorded prior to the announcement of the winners. Unfortunately, she wasn't selected, but don't get it twisted. She definitely won.
When I made it to the finalists, that opened my eyes that being real with you and sharing your truth, people will respect that. It's so many times that we, especially as an African-American woman, we frowned upon, you too loud, or you too big, or you too this. It took me a while to get here to be unapologetically Janetta Price. And to have people to just really embrace me and appreciate my truth.
Understanding and accepting that what makes us different should be appreciated, well, yeah, that's priceless.
I am a bold, Black, voluptuous advocate for not only for the blind, but for beyond. I stand in my truth. I am healed from insecurities. I am healed from negative self-talk. Every time I get in front of an audience, I have that white cane. I'm tapping and making room for the next Janettas. Everybody else that come behind me, that you don't look like the norm. We all have a purpose on this earth. It's okay to be you.
You all can reach out to Janetta Price as she rocks that blind girl magic and serves her purpose.
Facebook and Instagram. Also Clubhouse, Janetta Price, Blind Girl Magic, either one, it'll pull up.
Janetta Price, let me tell you right now, you are definitely now official member of the Read My Mind Radio family. Not only did she share her journey with us, but she even gave a little something extra.
It's called
Check this one out.
I'm from Double Dutch to Hopscotch, from where your mama gave you a hula hoop. I'm from where cartoons said yabba dabba do not screw you. I'm from pressing combs to Jerry curls, from skipping just for me, graduating straight to super TCB. I'm from 1, 2, 3 red light, duck, duck, goose, high, go see what? I'm from mayonnaise sandwiches and syrup sandwiches and peanut butter. Mama, where is my jelly at sandwich? I'm from grandfather hustle selling 25-cent cool cups. I'm from when grown folks talk, children shut up. I'm from where your mama made you go to church every Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You was there too. I'm from where the church folks did the holy days and now they TikToking. Well, Chicken Thunder, that reminds me, I'm from a family of big mouths that caused big fights and big mama stepping and everybody got right. I'm from God first, family next in line. Come on down to the Price is Right, even when we wrong. I'm from box fans in the windows of the projects. I'm from my sister sitting on the front porch doing my crochet braids, drinking Thunderbird mixed with a pack of cherry Kool-Aid. I'm from finders, keepers, losers, weepers. I'm from one size fit all, but not all this. I'm from where stripper poles hung got clean clothes. I'm from Stop. Everybody get down. It's a stick up. Psych. That's just my kin folks running from the pose. My brother on a dice with his pockets swole. Baby daddy in jail. Sister on the corner selling fruit cocktails. I'm from telling on big sister and hiding behind big brother. I'm from begging my siblings to please take me to the playground because that's why all the kids hung around. Question: when the last time you seen some children at the playground? I'm from where it ain't gonna cost you a dime to stay out of mines. I'm from ain't no ones where we come from and adversity don't want none. I'm from losing sight to gaining vision. Rewind. I'm from losing sight to gaining vision. I'm from where my brother read my mind and my sisters feel my words. It's not about the sight loss, but the vision gain. I'm from when we get up, dress up, and show up. I'm from backstroking in the river of faith. I'm from where the blind is the new vision. I'm from living my best life out of sight. Let the truth be told. I am chosen.
See, that's how you do it. That's how you do it right there. Do it right there. I appreciate that. Look at that. Look at that. Look, Mom, I made it.
You're so crazy.
Pullman Prize, y'all missed out. From my humble perspective, you had two dynamite opportunities. One with Miss Janetta Price, and another with Read My Mind radio alumni Dina Lambert. Her ambition? Archive the experiences of the remaining Black and blind men and women who grew up in segregated blind schools here in the United States. That to me sounds like an exploration that is truly worth supporting. Coming out of 2020, when it was fashionable and safe to say Black Lives Matter, I guess in 2021 it's back to paying attention. I didn't grow up blind, but I do know that those who were blind before me gave me the opportunity to have what I do. They were young, gifted, black, and disabled. And to them, I dedicate this episode. Peace.